TS4. Right now we have a deck box here. This one is from Lifetime. This is the 150 gallon there. I need to kind of zoom up and thing a little bit there. See if I can raise it up a little higher. Here, so is 567.8 liters there. They say this one is UV protected and water resistant. Right down to the bottom here. So you might be seeing my foot in and out of the video. UV protected, water resistant, stain resistant, and easy to clean. Spring hinge control, which is the kind of shock kind of thing it have to keep it open. You see is that next side in frame, and this side. They're showing you the box here. They're showing you can also lock it. They're showing you the water proofing here, and they're showing you also the shock that they have there for it. So they basically how the box looks. I saw in our which is PriceSmart, which is like Costco across in the States there. It's basically the same thing. They have basically the same products. And this is 10-year warranty, but as I say plenty of time in other videos, no warranty and nothing to do down here. With my island, it have nothing like that kind of warranty. You might get 30 days if you're lucky, and that's that. Most likely you wouldn't get any more than that. So according to certain items, you might get a year off. A year protection, I mean, compared to some of the other items. But for this, there is no 10 years warranty on this. Not just this light. This will only be, I think, 30 days warranty on this item. So in the States, you all have the good warranties. Maybe England, Germany, other countries, they might get the real good stuff in warranty wise, but not here. So we see if we could see how it's looking. To get it out. Oof, noise, so yeah, so the camera will be moving up a little bit. Alright, so I decided to do a little build up here this here to mount it up bit by bit here. So let me see if we could get all the pieces together. Everything look kind of simple to get in. I put all the pieces already as it should, already in the spots, and I just have some slots for them to slot in and attach with these kind of hooks there. So that's kind of going inside here. After that, push it across. Alright, so get locked in here. The next side right here. Put it inside the holes. When I go down, we're just going to tap it across. Still. It's going to be a little rough. You want to get rough up a little bit? If you want, you could use a rubber mallet. If you feel it will give you too much problems, or you could get a piece of wood and you could tap it across. If you find it too tight, you could also use that. Let's see if we get in the sides. Sides doesn't seem like they got anything to slide in. Look like you need to push in on this side. So, yeah, besides just pushing down until they kind of lock, the the pieces actually are right and left on it, so you can watch to see what side is side. Just slide it back up there. Slide it back into the grooves. Right. Yeah, so basically we're done. Tie it down already there. Just maybe a minute, maybe. So it seems to have some screw holes here to screw into. So you need to screw in and bore through and go into there. It seems like there. So it has some arrows on it. So like you need to just make it touch and then screw it up. Alright, so I have a little impactor here. Don't know if I might do the extension, but I don't think so. I'll be parted upon the socket for these here. For the next side, so got the shocks and all the mounts and thing there. So I want to screw in those screws and then we'll continue. Alright, so it's inside here is where the screws screwing in the little arrows. Triangle arrow holes on them here. Don't need to put it down that tight to squeeze in the plastic to cause any damages or anything like that. Just make sure you just go up snug on it and basically that is it. You don't want to kink it and squeeze in the material. And I don't want to show all you that screwing down a set of screws to keep the video for too long. So when I finish I will show you this here. So I basically then screw down screws from the inside and that's it there. So like all these screws going on in the arrows there. So it's 4 on each side and 4 on this side, and it didn't take that long. We go to the next step and see what we have to do here. I think I need to turn it upside down, so we'll do that now. Yeah, so remember when you're screwing down the top part, make sure that all the ends down here level. Shall leave it on the next side, but if you realize it's not level going straight across, you might need us to tap it in a little bit. And these is the things we'll knock across. That's now there, it just fall in this hole and then after you just push it across. So all of them go drop down here and push across, and we need to screw some screws into these tabs will stick up here. 1, 2, that's some on this side. Yeah, so 3, 5 on this side again. I don't think it's any in the middle, so let's just screw some screws through that top there. Then we get that done. Alright, so the same tabs I show you up here. I done screwed majority already because I don't want to show that again. I screwed in all the screws, so that's some of that showing. Not too hard, you don't want to squeeze it and mash it up. Everything that's kind of locking together with slight pressure and you're good to go. You don't need to force it and damage the box before you even start using it. So just take your time and go through, and then the last screw, and I basically the whole set of screws I had before, all those finished with that mounted up. So I had a whole row with this level in there. They all finished there. So we just have these other ones here. Still have one more here. I think this is for the locking mechanism, I think. So let's get the metal bar, I believe. So let me flip it over, open up the pack with the shocks and stuff, and let me see what we could do here. The locking mechanism here, this pack to do the locking, and we also have a reinforcing steel here kind of long. So this kind of going across the whole box. This long metal thing there. I think the locking mechanism going somewhere here, because these is the two holes that's lining up with each other. Let's see if we could get that now. Alright, so let me screw on the latch part on the back. See, have a kind of smoother side. This side, the smoother side facing. This will be the front of the lid. So it could be that smoother side facing there. You see what lining up here? Alright, so it's lining up like this. So put that part in place. Touch to the back. Let's see how that's working. And next one. In the front. Line up. We have the, what size we have here? 7/16. On the next side I have a 11. Let's see if we could get it screw up. Be too tight as I tell you, because we don't want to mash up anything. So the more around that side, feeling like it on this side. The other side actually does look kind of more wrong, and the more flatter side, I put the flatter side away from the lid part, from the front. Hopefully the camera don't fall down a bit. I could get it in here. To get a little bend to go in there. It's a little tough to get in. I gotta raise up my leg a little bit. Alright, so I'll just adjust and bust it a little bit and kind of bend it down for one side to go in and push it across. And now I need to kind of center it now for it to line up by where these humps is there for the screw to go through properly. And this is it. So it needs to go across a little bit and fall in this space. And I'll need to kind of force it down and screw it down at the same time to make sure that it can raise up in the air. You don't want it up, you want it flat. Now if I had the camera on top of this slippery base, it fall down a few times on the plastic, so I'll also stop for a while and fidget it in. So my son out here, would be here. So you could see what we could get in here now. Right, I'm gonna get these screws and then we'll start screwing it up. Alright, so my son come out to investigate to see what the noise is about. So I'll hold the camera because it fall a few times on the plastic. Hold it. So we're screwing in the top here right now. It had the little holes to screw it in, so I just kind of pressing it down a little bit to make sure that it jam. Because the top a little slippery, so you have to kind of center it up a little bit. You could do it on the ground as well. That might be a little more easier. Might be a little bit, that might be, will be much easier. I don't want to bend down too far down, so I good with it just how it is here. last bit in, and one more to go in. Where's the last one? Right here. Right. Alright, so we did 18. Yeah, so all them, right, all them going in there and in the latch part on there. We need to put on the next latch part over here, right here, which is right on this side. Yeah, right inside there. Hold this made on. Let me see if I could just screw that up there. So let's get this part in. So this one had this kind of lock wash or something on it with a protective end so that it wouldn't scratch you again when you dip your hand inside here to get anything. Right. Back up. Do we have any correct size here? Alright. We got a closer look at this there, So as I say, you don't need to do it to mash it up or to dent into the plastic or anything. And now it's just to put in the shocks. And then here. So we almost completed. Alright, so we have these here. This is to go into the arms. As you can see the arms here, there's some holes for it to go into here, and I believe up here, one of these holes, I'll get to see exactly when I put it in. And it has some of the big nuts on them here, big screws will be going in into here and here when it's slipping into the point across here. So it's slipping in right here into this groove. This is how the groove is, and it lining back up with these two plastic nuts here with the big screws going in through and through into this here, like this. So right here we'll have one, and somewhere up here have a next one. I've got to check. So when I done mount it up, you'll get to see exactly where it's going. Alright, so we done get the holder for the shocks here going in. So these is down there. And the holes in them are actually bigger, so you must know which one it is. You can't put it in the other small ones or anything like that, so you really can't put it in the wrong way. It kinda have a little nudge here, so I'm going to kind of go inside the plastic first, and then it's just aligned up with the holes what there and get it in. Just screw down these here. It does that's falling when they reach down to the base, so you know you don't have to tighten it that tight. When you tighten it, it's just kind of falling. And to tighten the same thing here, you could use is it? No, I think I use these here. Yeah, so either size is 1/2 inch or 13. You could use to hold the outside bolt, and you can use a spanner or a crescent wrench or anything like that to hold the inside, because it will spin on you if you don't have something to hold it up and hold it in. So just have 4 more bolts to go in, and that's it. So that's these 4 to fit in. So let me see how these fitting in here, and best to put in the shock itself. Alright, so we reached this section here with the hinge there. It have a area right here that had a kind of going into a little space. Come up closer. Yeah, going inside this little space right there to lock, and then we'll let coming down here. Right, and then slipping in right here. So if you leave it on top here, it will be kind of like this, off with a space. So we have to find this groove here and just kind of fit it in that groove and bolt up the bolts. Show me the bolts on the next side. So that the bolts on that side were in there, those two. Alright, come back on this side. Alright, so we have all the sides on here, we just have it lean back here. You could do it by yourself. It's just the cover part. You just need to have it jam against a wall so that the cover wouldn't fall back. Once it's against a wall, you could keep the cover up and then you could just do everything here. My son did come and hold up the cover for me when I was tightening. Just use the same thing we was using from before. With this to hold it. Let's hold it on the outside with this and I tighten it with that. And that was it. So it's just to get the shock in. Let me see one of the shocks here. So these are the shocks there to put it in. The length part here going in the inside of the box. So it's going like this inside and this part going up to the top. I don't know if it will make any difference being up or down really. But I how to say what's to put it in, so that's how it was in. Let's see. So that's how easy it is going there. And let me just raise it up a little bit. You don't hold the camera. Could I slip this part in too? Put it in. Should line up and lock in there. So we have that side here. Let me show this side. Clip this part in. It's better to clip the top part in because the bottom more easier to access. Move a little bit. Well, like the next side was easier to move. Because then less stress for the next side before first. But like that side want to get stressed. Yeah, so go back here done. You see it close. Yeah. Something bouncing here. See the ID. So we're gonna bounce right here on this. Now raise up. See? Kinda gonna knock. Is this still a little flimsy-ish? A little flimsy-ish on that side there. But we open it up easy and nice. Yeah. Everything sealed off. Good to go. So but then how to film and all these things 10 minutes for the most. It will take to get it in and it goes, so I say it's still kinda so you can see it because it's kinda flimsy though, the full support kinda touching, so by the time you close it, it is closing and it is lining up with the lock pad there as well, so it's not like if it off or nothing on, so it's springing up and you can close it. But you need to push your hand down. So I don't know if it's just my own doing that or if that's how some of them does open, but this kind of thing does happen with these manufacturing of so much of the same product. Sometimes something will happen. Yeah, and that is it. The lifetime box. So I need to put this outside. So I have plenty of things in my van with all those stuff and work and things I'm doing. And it just had the area kind of looking messy, and so I really can't take the look at that. So I buy this box, so I'll put it outside against the wall by the van there, and put my car washing stuff and different things to load up in it. You don't know, eventually all kind of other things go pile up inside of it, but at least it will be hide away and the area could still look nice and neat. I might buy a next one and put it in the back of the house for some other pipes and things that I have for the maintenance and things around, to make sure everything look neat and nice. Yeah, so thanks for staying along with me here. TS4 out.